Hey, how you doing? Today I want to talk about the things that I'm doing in this tank that are very similar to what Father Fish does, and the things that I do that are not very similar to what Father Fish does, because I've been getting some questions. And I want to break the talk down into 4 sections. One will deal with the substrate, one will deal with the plants, one will deal with water management, and the fourth one will be how many fish and why are in the tank itself. So as far as substrate goes, yes, I do have 1 inch of soil at the bottom, and on top of that there's 1 inch of sand and 1 inch of gravel. So that's very similar to Father Fish, except that he would never use gravel in his tank. I have worked with gravel many times before, and I find that as long as I'm careful feeding the fish, that not too much food will get down into the gravel and cause a problem. So I feed the fish on the flat rock over here, and the corridors are so cute. They come when they know when it's supper time. They come and they sit on the rock and wait for their supper. And the cardinals come too, so they know that they're going to be fed soon. So I think that the gravel that I have is not going to be too much of a problem. Now the supplements that go into the soil underneath, I have some concerns, about putting soluble fertilizers into the substrate, because they dissolve into the water, and then you just have to change the water unless you're going to be happy with high nitrates or high nutrients in the water, which I'm not happy with too much nitrates and phosphorus and everything in the water. It just bothers me. I don't even know if it's a scientific thing or not, but I just prefer my water to be at a certain level in terms of dissolved substances. So I don't put any soluble fertilizers in the soil. When I actually set up the tank, I used bone meal, fritted trace elements, I forget what else. I think I might have put in an iron supplement. Yeah, I did. And so it was things that don't dissolve very well. Actually, I did put in some of those root tabs. Oh yeah, and I did have to do a water change because the root tabs dissolve very fast. It even says on the bottle that you should do a water change after adding those root tabs. So I'm just going to use the root tabs in the garden instead, and use Osmocote from now on for my root tabs, because I just don't want stuff dissolving. Why buy a fertilizer that you add to your aquarium and then you have to do a water change to get rid of it? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I don't know. That's just me. Our next topic is the planting of the tank. So it may seem like I don't have as many plants as Father Fish. I don't know if I do. I probably don't. But I just wanted to have a scape. I didn't want to just have plants only. And when you have big rocks like that, it takes up quite a bit of the planting space, right? But I think I have enough plants that it will keep everything happy. It will keep the system going enough fast. Actually, judging from the way I have to trim this tank, I'm sure I have enough plants. Every 2 minutes I get more plants, and I'm a person that hates throwing out cuttings. But around here, Limnophila sessiliflora is so common that nobody wants to buy it. But I will keep advertising, I'll keep advertising my cuttings for sale. Yeah, so the rotala in the back here doesn't grow that fast, but the limnophila does grow fast, and the stargrass is a really fast grower, so I think I'm okay. Now, in terms of the water quality, yes, I prefer I prefer to have levels of all the dissolved substances to be lower than what father fish puts up with. And there's nothing wrong with either one, I don't think. I mean, his fish, he's been doing it for way longer than me, although we might be close to the same age. But he's been doing it way longer than I have been, so he must be doing something all right, okay? It's just my preference is to have a slightly cleaner water. And when I say clean, I don't mean it in a derogatory sense either. I don't mean that his tank is dirty and mine is clean, no. I'm just saying, when I say cleaner, I mean less dissolved substances, let's put it that way. Now, the other things that I'm doing, I am with my water, is that I've got filtration in. I've got carbon dioxide in there. And what else? I'm testing water and doing water changes if necessary. Usually it's just topping up. So why am I doing this? I'm doing filtration because my substrate is not old enough yet. It's not mature. I don't think that it's doing its job yet. I think it has to develop into a place where it can do the job it's supposed to do. Until then, I am doing some filtration and aeration. I think I would do aeration even if I didn't, say I decided to take away the filtration, I think I would still do some aeration because I think it's good for the whole setup. Yeah. Carbon dioxide, I also think it's good for the plants. I think that no matter what kind of substrate you have, the plants are going to need carbon dioxide anyway, so why not give it to them? And what else? Yeah, water changes, and I don't mind doing water changes either. I've said stuff about that already. One of the other things he does too is adding some muck from a pond. Where I live, I don't think I would want to do that because we have a lot of wild birds. A lot of wildlife comes around here because not too far from us is a set of lakes. The herons come and all kinds of other birds come around in the yard. So I'd rather not, risk getting some kind of disease because I have no reason. That's just the way I think. I think that there might be disease out there and I don't want to bring it inside, and that's it. I don't know if there is disease. I just believe that there could be, and so I'm being careful. Now, the last part of this is how many fish do I have in here? I guess I don't have a lot of fish in here yet, but I intend to put some ember tetras in here with the cardinals and the corridors, and then it will be fairly heavily stocked. So I'm not expecting the fish to find their own food. I'm going to feed them. I try to give them at least one day of fasting a week. And even when I do feed, I only feed small pinches because I'm around a lot, okay? I'm around home a lot, so I can feed tiny pinches 3 or 4 times a day. It doesn't bother me to do that. In fact, I enjoy doing that because that's why I keep fish, so that I can sit and look at them. And I might as well feed them a tiny pinch of food every couple hours. So I don't mind feeding the fish like that. And like I said, I feed them on the rock, so, not too much food is going into the substrate. And what else? Yeah. And with the water changes and everything like that, and the stargrass and limnophila, they grow so fast that I think that they will take care of stuff anyway. So yeah, those are the things that I do differently than Father Fish. But I do like the way he does stuff. It's just that I just have a different set of expectations for my tank, I guess. It's just a matter of taste. It's I just prefer it to do it this way. So I don't think there's anything wrong with what he's doing, and I don't think there's anything wrong with what I'm doing, and I don't think that my way is better than his. It's better for me, but if you want to do it exactly like Father Fish, I don't see any problem with that. And if you want to do it exactly like me, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do it your own way, there's probably nothing wrong with that either. So, just do what works. As long as you're keeping your fish healthy, we don't want to be abusing fish or, doing things that will hurt the fish. But as long as the fish are safe and healthy and happy, then it's working. And that's what it's all about. Okay? Okay, thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!